house, you're probably, commuting. Some of you are in the office already. Some people are at home listening to me from home. Wherever you're listening from, I hope that you're not too cold, right? And if you are, just grab a cup of tea, cup of coffee, whatever rocks your boat. You could do slim tea, I don't know, green tea, whatever. Just grab something. That's your cup of tea. See what I did there? Right. So it's such a beautiful day. I'm excited as always, and right, you soon find out why I'm excited. But it's such an amazing opportunity to get to talk to you guys. It's such a privilege. I don't take it for granted. All right, so now, who's talking. It's your girl Olajumoke Zuri, right, on your lovely show, Life Coach, on Life Radio 107.5 FM. But guess what? Guess what? I have someone in the studio today. Yes. Right, I'm not alone. Right, yeah. So it's a twist. Right? I'm sure you guys are not seeing it coming. But we have someone in the studio today. His name is Brian Obi. Right, let me tell you something, Brian Obi. Right, Brian Obi is a business coach. He's a digitalpreneur. I don't even know how he combines that, but I guess that's the thing. He's a digitalpreneur, right? That means he's an entrepreneur in the digital space, right? He's also an advocate in the connected economy, right? And he's a consultant with the Vision Business Hub, which is an NGO that basically shows people how to build a stable and profitable business, right? So he's a proper business coach, and I'm so excited to have him in the studio today, right? Before we go on music break, just say hi.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Ibadan. Good morning, Nigeria. How you all doing?
Alright, you guys are going to enjoy this, right? He has such a wonderful success story, and I'm sure you guys, would love to hear it. So we're going to music break now, right? Just to prepare your mind, so you guys can just start preparing for what you have to. You've not seen it coming. You've not seen it coming. So just prepare your minds, right? Take this song as like a cup of tea. Just prepare your minds for what you have today. What he does, but he's going to be saying it better. He can put it better than I would. He knows himself better than I do. All right. So, Mr. Brian, can you just tell us what you do? Right.
Wow. My name is Brian Ridley. I'm basically I am a business coach, and I'm an entrepreneur, like I said. It's entrepreneur. Some of you were asking, what is it all about?
I've been asking.
Is you being an entrepreneur in digital space, like you understand how social media works, all like how to do like putting businesses online basically, and e-commerce and all have you.
Oh wow.
Basically,
okay.
So it encompasses of so many things altogether on digital space basically. So I'm a business coach, like I said, and also I'm a consultant with the Vision Business Hub, where we basically work with entrepreneurs on becoming more, like taking them, getting them, coaching them basically on how to have start a business effectively, without losing money, and of course we coach them on various aspects of businesses basically.
Oh wow, that's wonderful. I love the fact that I kept saying coach because the name of our show is Life Coach. So you guys have you have a business coach here, right? I'm not a business coach per se. I just coach you about life. But you have someone to coach you about business. I think you should be clapping for me. It's not easy, right? I brought someone to teach you about business. So yeah, and he's also, there's a Jara on top. He's a digitalpreneur. So that's wonderful. You guys have a lot to learn today. All right, so Mr. Brian, I'm going to ask. That was not the first question. That was just a general introduction. I wanted you to say the way. You would be the best person to introduce yourself, right?
Yes.
So I want to ask, what drives you? What's your motivation? We talk about motivation here a lot. People call coaches motivational speaker, right? Other people say motivational speaker is sono, right? Inspire, aspire to perspire, and all of that. But you are a business coach, and I want to know, what drives you? What's your inspiration? What's your motivation to do all the things that you do?
Basically, good life.
Huh?
Yeah. You see, you cannot give what you don't have.
Okay.
First thing you need to, sometimes you need to, it might sound selfish, yes, but if you don't have something, for example, you want to eat a corn, right?
Yeah.
And you don't want to go and steal it or buy it, you want to grow it yourself, you need to what? Go through the process. Do you understand? So if you have a corn, that means you can give out corn, right?
Yes.
So I what drive me is I want a good life, and
Soft life.
and a good life come with a lot of yes challenges. So as a business coach, I want to tell someone what to do. You need to practice what to preach. Hope you understand.
Yeah.
So you need to experience that life. Okay, what does it take to get from this point A to this point Z? So when you experience that, you have the good life. You cannot teach people about how to actually practicalize what is duplicatable, what they can replicate.
Yeah.
So that is what drives me. So I'm usually when I get this, what's giving me that passion to keep going is basically coaching entrepreneurs.
Wow. That's a new one. I've never heard the good life, like of all things. Good life, soft like me. If I want baby girl life, I need it. Right, but that's right. You can't give what you don't have. I love it. Right. So when did you start what you're doing, and when exactly do you do it? Like, do you do it every day? You know, when did you start? So that's the first question.
Okay.
Then when do you get to do it? Is this something that you do every day or monthly, or when do you do it?
Basically, I'm an entrepreneur basically. So, and this is in the DNA, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a trait that I remember when growing up, if we're asked, like, you know, kids play and all, what do you want to become? I remember very vividly, I never choose any other profession. I said, I want to become a businessman.
Ha! And you're Igbo, right?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
Igbo. Yeah, so
I'm not saying anything. Okay.
so really, it is, and I've been on this even when I was in school. I actually was have some side businesses that I was doing. I was bringing in money to, you know, help me coaching some things and all. But being a consultant with the Vision Business Hub, I've been for the past 2 years. So if that is, I've been a consultant, and it has been a smooth ride. And it's just like you marry into what you love
What
doing.
you love, yeah.
Do you understand? I watch people grow from places of not having to have. You know, working with people to get cash flow, because there's something that most SMEs that make businesses fail. Aside every other factors, but cash flow is one thing.
Yes.
So if they don't have cash flow, there's no how business can grow. Do you understand? So that's basically been in this for the past two years now as a coach, as a consultant with a Vision Business Hub.
All right. So the other question: when do you do it? When do you get to do it?
Oh yeah. Actually, it's a life thing though. Yeah, it's a life thing. Well, basically, you working as a digital space. You don't have like a round the clock activity. You can plan your time, like can do 2 hours, 3 hours based on your time, part time, full time, based on your own schedule. So but for me, I'm full time into this. But when we coaches people or like doing what we want them to do, they could have we coach people like start maybe those that are working 9 to 5 that want to transit. You know, one thing most people when they work 9 to 5, they're thinking about, oh, what about retirement? So how they transit into that. So we guide them through that period while they're working. They can't leave what they're doing, but we can coach them when they have the free time. Do you understand?
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you said that you have basically time freedom, like the digital space. It's not like you have like a 9 to 5. You know why I'm asking? Because on Life Coach, we're very big on time management. We're very big. So I just want you to give like a time management tip for our listeners. You know, how to manage your time generally. Like how do you, for some of us listening are 9 to 5ers, some of us have a business, some of us are Netflixers. Right? You know, we have everybody has what they do with their time, and that's a common, denomination. That's the common currency. Everybody has time. Even if you don't have money, you should have time. Right? So I just want you to give like a tip, on just time, basically, like, okay, this is how you said you have time freedom. I know it takes a lot to get it. So you're making money and to do it on your own time. So just one tip or two on like a tip basically on time.
Oh, okay. As like you said, everybody have time, but the most scarce commodity is still time.
Yes.
It's time.
The way time flies.
Yeah, because just like you said when you started that, we're September already. Just like yesterday, we're in January, right? So what you do or not to waste your time is you must learn how to plan your time.
Plan your time.
That was one thing my mentor taught me on how to do. Because before now, I can multitask, I can do everything at the same time. Yeah, it's okay. But are you actually hitting your goals? Those are one of the things. So how do I do that? I look at, okay, what are the activities after setting my goals, what are the things I want to achieve, and I block out time. So within that time I block, I know that, okay, this is the time I have for making calls, this is the time I have for attending to clients, this is the time I have for maybe, I was talking to a client one day. She came quite late to, of course, to the office, and my phone just rang, like my alarm went off, and it was written lunch. So like, really? That is how you need to plan your time.
Right.
So within that time for lunch, I have to do lunch, right? If it's time for maybe talk to someone or how, I don't do any other thing within that. So you need to learn how to plan your time, your day, into the activity, put in your reminder, so that when it comes off, you can start with maybe a reminder reminding you how to do that, and over time it will just be inbuilt. You just have to do it.
Shetigbo, you guys have heard, right? You have to manage it and plan your time, have time blocks, and one helpful tip, I love that, setting reminders. I'm an alarm person. I'm not always alarmed, but I always set alarms, right? I just love it. So that's a very beautiful tip. You mentioned something about mentor, but before we go into that, we are going to go on a music break. I'm going to be asking something specifically about, that. Well, we're going to go on a music break just for you guys to take in what he has just said. It's a lot. So just 107.5 FM, and we have a guest today. Yes, Mr. Brian has been dishing out, he has been dishing out, is it punchlines? And he has just been giving us, one of the things he said that I love is that he likes living the good life. Since I've not heard it before, you know what they call la vida loca, right? That's the living, enjoying life. I'm Chop Life Gang. So when I see my fellow Chop Life Gangers, it's busy. Gang members, it's not gang. My fellow Chop Life Gang members, I'm excited. So yeah, Mr. Brian has been telling us about, he's coaching us on business. If you've not been tuning in, you've missed, but you've not missed too much. You hear the rest, right? So Mr. Brian, where do you see yourself going? You said something about your mentor said, and I love that. Having a mentor, that's one of the things we advocate here on Life Coach. Have a mentor. You need someone to put you through in life and all. So you said that your mentor said, and I just had to ask, where do you see yourself going in life? What's your goal or vision? What's the picture that you have? I know you've done quite amazing things already, but what's the picture? I've asked you what drives you, but what's the picture? What's the vision that you have? I mean, it's not ironic that you work for the Vision business hub, right? So what's that vision that you have?
Okay. Basically, my vision is to reach out to as many as the SMEs, that is, entrepreneurs, and help them, move them to where they should be. You see, I discovered something that in most of these countries that we admire, what drive the economy is the SMEs.
SMEs, that's small, medium enterprises.
Yes, that's what drive them. Make the economy robust. Imagine a tailor, a fashion designer. Let me put it that way. That want to be a world-class brand, doesn't have that what it takes to be that. So I want to take that young lady or young man, from that place of not knowing to as many people as are willing and ready. That's my vision.
Wow. So do you have a picture of any person that you have in mind that can paint that picture for you? Some people say, I have a picture of Mahatma Gandhi or Mother Teresa. Yeah. Right? So do you have a person?
Of course. You see, I talked about mentor already. Mentor comes in different ways. There's one particular man that I've been doing it for a decade. I admire him so much. Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett, wow.
He's one person that understands how businesses work. And just watch his next move. His next move are very, calculated and always ready what is going. There is one of my, of course, Bill Gates said, you need to know how to be ahead of other people as well. Know where the world is going and get there first. So it's always there first before a lot of people. So it's one man. But can I mention more than one? Be let me use this word, Yahoo, we'll go into some vices and all to make money, right? So you can make legitimate money doing something right. And when you don't have someone to guide you, that is a problem. I was caught up in that world for a very long time. Like, okay, I didn't find my way right until I found a mentor who is guiding me. Do you understand? So I know I'm sent to talk more of youth because they say the future belongs to the youth, definitely. Yeah. So when you get it right, that means the next generation after us will do what?
We'll get it right as well.
Yeah.
All right. So he sends to youth. No offense to old people, right? You could even be sensitive. I mean, if anybody needs to learn how to use digital, devices and all that, is our parents, right? With the way they take their selfie and post. I'm not throwing shades, right? I'm just saying, it could be anybody. I just wanted to clarify the people that he feels specifically sent to, and he already said young people, so that they learn that, hey, and this is something we always emphasize, you don't have to dip your hands into anything unclean or illegitimate to make money. You can, aside from the fact that you can, that's dangerous. It's very, very dangerous, right? It is very dangerous to you for you to have to do unclean things. For one, you might end up behind bars, you might lose your life, you might lose your reputation, right? Instead of doing all those things, he's telling you, and we've said this a number of times, that you can do something worthwhile, something valuable, and solve people's problems, and you will actually make money. So that's changing the narrative, because it seems as the popular narrative now is everybody wants to make fast money, quick money, and without the consequences, like not caring about the consequences. But the narrative, I love the fact that, you mentioned changing the narrative, changing the world's perspective, like, hey, you can do something legit and make money. So before we go on to the next set of questions, we just like to go on a temporary music break. Like every time Mr. Brian drops something, boom, you guys need to, like, you can't eat without drinking water, right? It's not a good habit. So if you get something that powerful, when you eat meat, not milk now, meat, substance, right? You need to drink something to just let it go down, to wash it down. So that's what this song is going to do for relative. Anyway, that was specifically chosen by Mr. Brian, by the way, because he said he likes the good life, and he just showed it in his taste in music. He just showed it in his taste in music, right? He really loves to chop life. He loves the good life. He didn't say chop life. It's me that is saying chop life now. But the song, he said that's one of his favorite songs, chopping life. So we just take it that Mr. Brian likes to chop life, right? So, and it's not a bad thing to chop life. If you've worked, you need to chop life. Otherwise, life will just become, boring. So it's important. Mr. Brian, I want to ask, how do you do what you do? Like, and I know that sounds like, how do you, what are some habits and principles that you have put in place in your life that work? Because I know that nobody actually rises by accident. It's so easy to destroy something accidentally, you can destroy it, but you can't build accidentally. And someone was saying yesterday that it's easy to roll down a hill accidentally, but you cannot actually climb up accidentally. So I know that life is a function of principles. So there must have been some principles that you put in place that have worked. So can you just let us know some of those habits or principles that you've put in place?
Okay, talking about habit and principle, first thing you need to do in life, you must have a vision.
Vision.
Yeah. The man with a vision is like a moving train. Nobody can stop the man, right? So you must have a vision. So if your vision is clear, that means you can achieve your thing. Whatever you want to achieve. Very, very important. And the second one is what you must set a goal. So that was one thing that I was naturally doing very well before, right? Until I met my mentor. I wasn't setting a goal. I just do things anyhow. I know the couple of businesses I did before now, I was just doing them haphazardly, So, and I was not actually achieving things. So until I understand the principle of setting goals, you need to set them. Okay, what do you want to attain in the next 5 years, 10 years? If you say 10 years, you can now break it down in 5 years, 2 years, and then break it down to year. And within that, you break it down to months. As a matter of fact, you need to break it down to days.
Wow.
Yes. And days, you need to break it down to hours. Do you understand? So you need to understand all these things. So when you do that, I can tell you for sure that you are going to achieve whatever you were set out to achieve.
Setting goals. Love it. Love it.
Very important. And the second thing is about the third thing I gave you two already, right? So the third thing is what is you need to plan your life. You need to plan your life. So what do you want to aim to become in life? All those things you need to plan it. And because when you plan your life, you know the kind of friends you move with. If the friends you are moving with are not impacting or are not helping you to achieve that goal, you need to do what? Switch.
Wow.
Yeah, you need to switch. Don't be afraid to switch your friends. Don't be. As a matter of fact, my mentor said that at the top, they could say at the top is very lonely. Why is it so? It's because it's only few that can get to the top, right?
Yes.
But top, when you get to the top, you have a lot of friends. Definitely, there are people attracted to success.
Success
Do you get?
is attractive. Yes.
It's very attractive, but the bottom is even the loneliest part because nobody wants to associate with someone that doesn't have. So you need to plan your life. Very, very important. And also you need to one of the things that will keep you going is exercise. It's keep you going. You see, one of my routine is after I wake up, I pray. The next thing is exercise my body because I need to pump myself.
Hear or work out.
Yeah, if you cannot afford the gym, no problem. You don't have to, at least do your, indoor exercise or whatever. Push up, sit up, all those things, jump up or whatever, skipping and all. It will pump your body and then you'll be ready for the day, right? So, and you must be a very good reader. You must read. Yeah. I have never seen any successful man today who is not a good reader. Every successful man today, they read a lot. So, and you know, how do you read? You ask, how do you read? You just look, okay, what aspect do I want to develop? What skill do I want to develop? Pick at least 5 books in that aspect and read about it. Our business school said you are before you can become a professional in anything, you must read at least 5 books in that thing. In-depth knowledge about it is very, very important. And also, I talked about prayer. Yes, pray. You must pray. You have to pray. I'm not that church. Yes, but I know that I believe God is superior. Definitely, you have to make sure you pray of anything. That whatever religion you believe you are, make sure you pray. And then before you take anything, and don't be afraid to fail.
Don't be afraid to fail. Wow. All right, so we're going to talk more about. I love that last part. I love all the things you said: goal setting, having a vision, planning your life, exercise. That one. He has said if you cannot afford to go to the gym, you can afford to buy a skipping rope, right?
Yeah.
So that one is. For those that are listening, he that has ears, let him hear. Right, and he has mentioned, the last part, don't be afraid to fail. So we're going to take a music break and then we'll talk more about that.